Clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me out.
Draft Odysseus.
Just let me out. That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me out. Oh, just let me out. That clock keeps ticking like
2020. We're back.
Me to get me home, but my balls keep
oh, wow. Commentator Edwards in the queue? Oh, boy. Broadcasting live from the heart of the earth. This is the most badass YouTube broadcast now. Ow, the known land, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tommy Z. This is Shot from the Point. I'm here with my co-host today, Jeff. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How about you?
I got behind the glass, Dr. Zhivago. And in the sniper's and in the sniper's nest, Diorio. He's just going to hang out there for a minute. Yeah, hello. Hello. Listen. All right. Look, I get some of this is a meme, but the shit coming from the media is not a meme. Shut the fuck up. We literally, everything that happened in the last week's been happening for weeks in Iraq, including bombing in the Green Zone. Nothing that big a deal happened. This is not that big a deal. This is nothing. The only thing that makes this different than any other, Trump, and the caliber of the person we hit. We've been doing drone bombings for the better part of 15 fucking years. And we clipped a big guy. And as somebody who said I was a warmonger in the chat, let me tell you something. I'm going against both the right and the left on this one because I watched Tucker Carlson and I watched all those nuts on MSNBC. They're all saying, well, we're dragging us to another war. All right. Nobody wants to repeat what we had in the 2000s. Nobody wants the quagmire. Hey, I was involved in that quagmire. All right. All right. I don't want that. Thank you, Mike the Bike. Okay. I don't want that. Nobody does. This will not cause that because in order to do that, you would have to invade Iran. Think about that. Think about that. This president we have, he has a completely new policy. He hits you and leaves you. There's no nation building in this president. He just fucks you up. That's it. He just fucks you up. And I think he did the fucking right thing considering an enemy general is tooling around Iraq like he's got a fucking Uber with a security detail.
What business does he have there?
None. To cause trouble. To start a revolt.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what he's doing there.
Iran would never do that. Time.
Look, me and Dave have friends that gave everything, and including their lives. I don't want to. The idea was to give that to the Iraqi people, not Iran. And if we have a general that can float freely around there, that just won't do. That just won't do. You know how you solve a problem? Shove a rocket up his ass. I guarantee the guy who took over for him will not be tooling around Baghdad. And that was the idea. The other idea is if we can touch him, maybe we can touch you too. If we can hit the second biggest guy or the fifth biggest guy, and I don't know what the argument or what biggest guy he was. The idea is to send a message to the Ayatollahs of the world. Drones for 2020. They work. That should be their tagline. Good idea, one happy kid. Drones for 2020. We always get the target. Is now you motherfuckers can't tool around here like you used to. But Tommy, the Iraqi people, the Iranian people united, they're all ready for this. They have an army of 500,000. They have I've been listening for the better part of almost 30 years now. It's almost been 30 years since the first Gulf War. 30 years. About how we're going to get our asses handed to it by somebody in the Middle East. The Iraqi army, or Iranian army, is nowhere as experienced as the Iraq army that we just took apart. And we have no plans of invading them. Here's what's going to happen, guys. Nothing. Why? Because they can't do anything. The best they can hope for is to bloody our nose enough, which would mean civilian targets, not a military target, so they can save face. They can't line the border with their troops. We could literally take them out in a sortie because we can see everything from outer space, right? They can't launch missiles because we can Patriot them right out of the fucking air. They can't do anything crazy because Iran, unlike most of the Middle East, is not a rich oil country. Would have like 3 or 5 places to produce oil. That could be done without resistance in a day. All 3, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, they could roll.
Just steamroll them. And this is before we get the ground troops. This is before the Marines. This is before Delta Force. This is before the Army, the Rangers, everything.
They can roll through that shit before I take my morning.
They don't need to roll through it. That's my point. Rolling through it suggests you take a boot and you put it on a radio. You don't even have to do that. Iran is fucked. 6 ways to Sunday. The best. They have a better chance of attacking Wiesbaden in Germany, right here where I live, than they do anywhere in the States. Is a cheap terrorist attack. That's it. That's all they're capable of. And if they hit us too hard, we take out their oil. It's literally a flight away. It's an hour flight from Baghdad. It's an hour flight. Nothing is going to happen. Let me. Here's what. But the Iraqi people voted us out. All right, let's look at the Iraq votes. I'm going to put this up here real quick. Iraq votes. Here we go. Let's see. The anti-ISIS coalition suspends operations of MPs. Vote to expel troops. And then I see. Oh, is this the article? No, this isn't the article I clicked on. They probably changed it already. Here it is. No, it's this one right here. If you scroll down, let me read it. The Iraqi parliament votes to expel U.S. troops awaits government approval. I don't think this was there when I read it to a verse a couple hours ago.
Probably not. It probably wasn't.
Yes, this is just. And here's what's happened. The Iraqi government, part of it, the MPs have been basically interfered with by I almost said the Persians, strangely enough, the Iranians. So basically, this is just the Iranian part of Iraq right here. You don't think we attack these people knowing full well the prime minister or the chancellor or the president, whoever the fuck it is over there, what they call themselves, would have approved this? This is to show how deeply we cannot have Iran controlling that much oil. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. This was a smart move. Now, is there any risk of it escalating further to a point where I don't want to escalate to? Sure. Could it get ugly? Could it turn into a quagmire? Maybe. Odds? Slim. It's slim. They can't do anything besides a terrorist attack. They can't do, and they were doing it as it was. They had Hezbollah running up in the north, close to where me and Dave were. They've been killing Americans. Like I turn the media like, they're going to start killing Americans. They already were. They already were. And guess who was running the operation? The guy that they had to identify by using the ring on his hand. But Donald Trump didn't run this through Congress. Congress only has the right to declare war. He didn't declare war, and you're wrong. This has been tested constitutionally 1,000 times. The president is the commander in chief. He can move troops, have troops strike as he sees fit. The Congress has the right to defund them. This has been established in multiple courts.
Isn't it true we haven't declared war since like World War II?
Yes.
Everything else.
Yes, but there's also two ways to look at that. If you voted for war funding, like the Iraq, Vietnam War, technically it is a declaration of war. So like if I'm Richard Nixon and I'm asking for money for the Vietnam War in 1965 and Congress has approved that spending, that's a declaration of war. Now, we haven't officially declared war since World War II, and I don't know if we even did it in World War I. Maybe we did. It's not that important. We declare war. It's just on a piece of paper. It says we declare war.
It's just an official.
But it's all it means. Like, what do you fucking think it means? It's just on a dot. We declare war. Okay, nothing happens. Transformers don't come out of the Pentagon and then they start rockets everywhere. That's what I thought. This is the biggest wake-up call. When I was a kid, see that over there, Tommy? What, Dad? That's the Pentagon. Yeah, that's the safest place in the whole world. Well, when I was 24 years old, I found out that wasn't the case. There was no Optimus Prime didn't come out and blast no plane out of the sky. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. And I tell you something. The Iranians are fucked. They have to think, overthrowing Iraq on the DL in our best interest anymore? It's not. They decided the Americans decided not to tolerate it. So they're going to throw a bitch fit and to save face. The Iranians haven't did one fucking thing since 1978 or 1979. They haven't done a fucking thing to us. So, and here's another thing. The situation would have had to develop like if other countries came in, like a Russia. The Kremlin's been quiet. They haven't said a fucking word.
Russia, China,
this is literally nothing.
Nobody.
This is nothing. I wouldn't say he's a nobody. It's just that the conservative. I saw Tucker Carlson. We haven't had a discussion about this. That's what Tucker Carlson. Oh, Tucker, did Donald Trump and the military leaders had to run this by you before they had this fucking once in a lifetime opportunity to pick this guy off? Usually when you pick somebody off like this, there's a time frame. You don't got time to discuss it. That's why we have a commander-in-chief, that he gets the ultimate call. That's how things work. So here's what's going to happen. This story is going to fade. There might be an attack. Now, I'm struggling out that there was like some kind of small attack. Oh, you said there wasn't going to be an attack. I'm saying it right now. Iran has 100 different responses to the drone strike. None of the responses work out well for them. I laughed my ass off when people started crying World War III. Yeah. I mean, it's like people I respect are running this narrative. I even saw Tim Pool say, well, he should have consulted Congress. They're trying to impeach him. Like, did you see that farce that went out?
I'm sure that'll go over great.
Yeah, you don't think Adam Schiff would snitch us out? That guy's a goddamn traitor. He probably let the Iranians know it was coming. And what is that what is that jackass? Nobody ever gets hit with the Logan Act other than the Republicans. John Kerry, what the fuck is he doing in Iran? Isn't it illegal if you're not the president? You don't get to conduct foreign policy unless you're, I don't know, the president?
Typically, I think that's how that works.
Yeah, I know. But Sean Penn's allowed to meet with Saddam Hussein, and this guy's allowed to meet with whoever.
He's an ambassador, Tommy.
Yeah. In other words, somebody sent me an article. Let's see. Or this is just a headline. This is my personal favorite. Iraq abandons nuclear deal limits after their U.S. general killed. They probably weren't abiding by it in the first place. It was just a big Obama payoff. They dumped a bunch of money. They said, you give us a bunch of money and we promise, we'll do what you tell us. Yeah, sure.
This is like the declaration.
Horse fucking shit.
This is their official.
Didn't Obama fly them $1 million in cash on the DL and we found out about it like a couple months later? Do you really think you could buy peace with cash? Dude, if you're trying to buy peace with cash, that cash is going to be used to kill you.
Like, oh, cool, thanks.
I don't want, look, let me make this 100% clear. I don't want another quagmire. I don't want to see any more troops get killed. But I don't believe in this idea that the less military there is, the more peace there is. This strike, we'll probably never know. Oh, actually, we will know when nothing happens. Might have averted a war. Because if Iran got a foothold in Iraq, it might come down to you better invade or Iran technically gets all the oil control of Iraq. Rather than kill this fucker now and let this guy know, if you send any other fuckers here, we're going to drone strike them.
So you're saying it's actually okay to defend yourself?
Well, it's okay.
Really?
First of all, it's part of our responsibility to defend Iraq because we conquered them, for Christ's sakes. We cut a deal with them, and they do allow us to be there. And they can throw us the fuck out if the government sees fit. Guess who has 72 virgins now, bitches? Thanks, Donald. Andy. Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Let's get...
I'll say something now. Apparently, the embassy's been hit by a rocket.
Big deal.
A rocket attack, yeah.
You said we had a saying when I was there, green zone ain't so green.
Yeah. That's what I've always heard.
Remember that one, Dave? Green zone ain't so green. It's probably greenest when I was there, actually. These people didn't want us to leave Turkey. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh! What was the other one to go? You abandoned the Kurds! You abandoned, the United States. I saw Matt Jarbo doing that shit. We don't, Americans don't abandon people. Yeah, we do. In fact, specifically, we abandoned the Kurds. 1991, 2003 and 4, and just recent. In 2011, and just last month.
How about the last chopper?
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, what about all the fucking Vietnamese we abandoned? That was okay. Because you were rooting against because some of you lefties were rooting for the North Vietnamese. Give me a fucking break. That was a great call. The same people just wanted to stay in Turkey. I don't want that shit. That's why I have no reason to believe. This is like I heard Tim Pool say Donald Trump slipped in a banana peel and landed on his feet. No, he didn't. First of all, he's never done anything like this since he's been president. Second of all, I'm sure they knew. They're probably doing this now before the Iraqi parliament gets taken over by Iranian proxies. That's probably why they're doing it now. Because at this point, whoever's in charge over there is friendly to us. I'm sure they took that into account. I've been around these generals. They're pretty fucking sharp. They're pretty fucking sharp people. They don't just blow up shit. They're not like me, just like regular people. These are sharp guys.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they think of all angles. And here's the thing. You think we're fucked. You think it's an escalation. And it was, by definition, an escalation. But what are you going to... Like, the ball is now in their court. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And here's the thing, they probably were violating that nuclear deal, and if they are building something and we're aware of it, we're going to bomb it.
Well, somebody pointed out, I think we pulled out of that deal last year.
Yeah, we did. We already pulled out of it. Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah, Trump pulled out of it. He says what about it? It was the stupidest fucking deal Obama ever did. Obama and the Democrats have been sucking this crazy Iranian administration's ass for years. Always looking the other way. They're fucking nuts. They're crazy. And we owe it to the Iraqi people not to be taken over by Iran. One thing that I believed when Saddam Hussein was being interrogated, they had this Iraqi American that spent a lot of time with him before they hung his ass. And, they were arresting him for, get this, weapons of mass destruction. And he told the American CIA agent, I never really had them. You got just about everything in the first Gulf War. He says, but why were you saying this and moving this? He goes, I had to make it look like I had weapons of mass destruction so the fucking crazy Iranians wouldn't come in. Because they fought a war for like 12 years. It was one of the first things that happened after the Ayatollah took over in the 80s. They got in a big 7 or 8 year war or 12-year war with Iraq. Right when that ended, they started shit with us. Or Kuwait. It's just like, I'm sorry. We spilled our blood over there to control things. And God damn it if they're not going to be controlled. I was sick. Me and Dave were sick to our stomach when we were in Tikrit. Dave had been to more places in Iraq than I have. I think he's been to Baghdad and such. And to think that there was ISIS soldiers walking around where we were in 2007 and 8. And, Trump took care of that. They're all gone now. But it was always a bit of a three-way war. Now, it's just us and Iran. We clapped their general. Now what? Nothing's going to happen. Okay. We've covered this ad nauseum. The draft. And yes, I realize, again, part of this is a meme, but some of you motherfuckers shut down the Selective Service website. So if everything else I just said, I got the biggest, dirtiest secret that the Army doesn't want you to know, the government doesn't want you to know. I'm going to tell you something. I had this conversation with an officer about 10 years ago. We couldn't do a draft if we had to. Not if we wanted to. If we had to. The Army is not, the current Army, the way it is now, the old volunteer service, is not prepared or able or even has enough people around from the Vietnam era to know what it's like to have a draft army. Most of the guys in Vietnam are in their mid to late 70s. There was one guy there. He's the one that handed out the medicine. I don't know how he stayed in the Army so long. There's one Vietnam guy when I got here in 2005. He lasted like a year before he got sick. I think he's dead now. Now think about that. Yeah. What did I just say? All right. Here's the thing. They can't do this because we don't have a culture of it. Prior to World War Vietnam, we had a culture like this, right? There was something. It was better to get killed in combat than to get thrown out of the Army. Prior to Vietnam, that was a cultural thing. Men would rather not be dead than seen as cowards. We don't have that anymore.
That's good. That's kind of
no. That's a. Here's another thing. Do you don't think there was motherfuckers back then that all right? I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing what you tell me. They beat the ever living shit out of you back then, and nobody got in trouble for it. And nobody got in trouble for it. Didn't matter who you complained to. Nobody got in trouble for it.
Tigerland?
Yeah, they did. But dude, we don't have a culture like that in the military currently. They're not going to do that to you. They're not going to do it, which is kind of a scary thing if we did have to draft for a legit reason, not over killing this one fucking guy. A draft for this fucking guy? Get the fuck out of here. Right?
Everybody seems to forget about all the troops we have on reserve.
We have literally just enough people, us and England, probably the only two warrior cultures left in the entire Western world, that keep the Western world safe. We have just enough volunteers. The Marines hated drafting during Vietnam because they wanted you to be a Marine. And most of the Marines I ever met really loved it. They don't want people that don't want to be there. And like my uncle, he joined. The draftees got treated like shit in the Marine Corps. They can't beat you anymore. They don't have people that know how to beat you. You're not going. I heard fucking Nick Diorio say something ridiculous. Well, I'm too fat to go in. They'll change that, Nick. That would be the easiest thing to change.
Oh, bullshit. I have a glandular problem.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Can you run it off? Can you run it off?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is that? That's an extra lap for you. The fuck is that?
Sir, it's a jelly donut, sir.
A jelly donut? So no, they're not fixed. The Army is not currently rigged to discipline their draftees. They're only rigged to discipline a volunteer force. So they couldn't take you in if they wanted to. Let me tell you something. If they're starting to draft, we're probably all fucked. It's over. Because we can't flip our culture around like that. We'd have fucking sergeants saying, "Hey, sergeant, you hit that soldier. Sergeant, I know I hit that soldier. He's a draftee. He needs to stay in. He's threatening to leave. Well, I'm going to turn you into IG." That's the culture we have now. Oh, Scrubby. Nick has an Oreo problem. Scrubby, thank you so much, Scrubby. I'm going to be reading
Guys, we're going to go hit them dubskis in Iran. You know what I'm saying? Where are we dropping, boys? Where are we dropping? Oh, I found a golden scar.
We don't have
fishing in the Tigris River.
The Army can't take you if they wanted to. They don't have that. I mean, Jesus, you guys today, you know, you'd be sitting there and you going in and saying you think you're a girl or something like that. You would pull anything. Whereas there'd only be a handful of people.
All those guys saying, "I have news for you, Nick," in the chat. Okay, bro, I'll be transgender so fast you won't know what hit you. Get the fuck out of here.
Nick, here's the thing about you pussy. I've seen you play hockey. You could survive basic training, and I
totally could. You know what else?
What?
Transgender. I ain't fucking doing that shit. I'm college
Why not?
educated.
What do you? Whoa! You're college educated. That gets you out? What?
No, it doesn't. It means I have a chip on my shoulder and I don't want to go. I'm not saying it should. I'm not saying I deserve it. I'm saying that I've done enough and I'm not doing it.
You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. Here's another one. Draft equals desertion, switching sides.
Fucking Iranian.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, look, if everybody deserts, then it's not a big deal to be a deserter. It's only a big deal to be a deserter.
It's not deserting, dude. They can't have transgenders in the army, bro. They signed the executive order.
You could be transgender or your wife, but you're going to dress like a guy, going to beat the shit out of you every time he takes some crap. That's what they'd have to do. I'm telling you.
Go. Isn't it completely fucking illegal to have transgenders in the military?
No, it's not illegal. You basically do. Look, all right, you do what you do in MASH. You ever see MASH? Did you ever see MASH? That's what they literally.
Tommy, they signed an order. Like Trump did this in like the first month of his presidency.
I understand that, but they just say you're not a transgender. Do you understand that? It's like, all right. I'm your draft sergeant. Okay, if there's such a thing anymore, there isn't. Okay. Diorio, you need to be here tomorrow at 6:00. Now, what do you tell me?
You got to use my proper pronouns.
No, you don't. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. You're going to show up in men's clothes, and if you don't, I'm going to choke you with the women's clothes you have. Do you understand that? And if you think you can kick my ass? All right, you're going to have to kick 5 other guys' asses too. And we're going to beat you until you submit.
Bro, Dexerto.com is going to get a hold of this, and you are so fucked. Do you know what kind of Wall Street Journal is going to get written on our military comments?
I see you like YouTube. Here's another thing I didn't bring up, the racial element. Here's something they don't do anymore, but I have, if you were a white kid back in 1968 and you got drafted, all right, no nigger ain't gonna tell me what to do. You know what happened? 5 white hillbilly DIs beat you until you took orders from that black sergeant. And if you tried some shit like, and honky's telling me what to do, then 5 black DIs beat the ever-living shit out of you until you took orders from a white guy. That's how they dealt with things back then.
5 DIs
that is never.
That is never. 5 transgender DIs came in and beat the shit.
That is never going to happen nowadays. No one's getting drafted. Nobody's getting drafted. It's not. Actually, I hate to say it. Even if we really needed the draft, if it was like do or die, I don't think we could do it, and that's fucking crazy. That's actually really sad, because a country like Russia, where they still beat the shit out of you in the military, the stronger society usually wins.
You're telling me Russia isn't hip with the times?
No, they're not.
Yo, drummer 828 comes out on a gun and a motorcycle. We're gonna get him, boys! Iran, you gotta stop drinking, man.
So I put a 1 in the chat if you get, everybody calm down. There may be a terrorist attack. Have you seen any WASD and how fast I am at building walls? I stack max, drop tilted towers every game, get wrecked.
How can that range strat when you just build? Just build every time. You're fine.
Violence always works. Look, I believe, I hope, I pray. Look, let's watch that. I have an idea. Let's watch the cast I did, because nobody remembers this. And Trump ended up making a deal with him.
Tommy, you forgot the other thing.
I'm gonna play that next. Don't stick around for a prank call from hell.
Did you know what happened? Like they retaliated already. You didn't see it?
What did they do?
They took over the U.S. library.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Yeah, now
I'm terrified.
Everybody's late fees have been waived.
How
much money they just lost?
Yeah. Everybody's late fees have been waived. Hold on a second. I want to go to my channel.
Did you shout out the thumbnail person?
Oh, yes. The thumbnail is brought possibly by John Swan. John Swan's in the description box below. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. He knows a lot of shit about finding fake photos and stuff. I don't know if he'll help you out, but you could try, I suppose. And check out his videos. He's also on Pescador's News Network as the announcer guy, and he's doing it. He does quite a good job for Pescador, I have to admit. So make sure you check that out tomorrow. Thank you for hooking me up at that. All right, here's what I want to do. I want to see what I sound like. I think I sounded better back then, because right after this happened, nobody cared. Yeah. Nobody cared. Nobody remembers this.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
Wait till North Korea partners up with Iran. Okay.
Thanks so much, Mike to Mike. I will be shouting all these out. I'll make sure to.
My local library, $500.
I think I did. I did another. I know I did.
Yeah, look up North Korea.
Oh, okay, that's right. North.
Next up, they're gonna bomb the VHS warehouses.
No.
See,
not the cassette industry.
And I don't know why you guys believe the
That's a lot of money, I guess.
I don't know why you guys how the fuck do you spell? Okay. Korea, I got it. Yeah. North Korea. Nuclear over here it is. Here we go. Thank you so much, Bo Diggity. Check this out. Nuclear overreaction of this is 2 years ago of Trump's North Korea tweet. So let's watch this particular episode from last year and don't make too many comments about me being skinny. And Jeff was here actually.
I remember that green screen.
Yes, I'm glad it's gone. It was a big pain in the ass. Absolutely. Let me see. Let's watch this. Big shout out to Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. No.
It is. I mean,
but it seems that every time something happens on Baited, it's up to me to respond.
Right. You're the authority.
I don't know. I think I might have a little surprising response for you on that. Me and Dave will get to the point. Even be fair to report on her.
Right.
They act. But the headline of today's show is the utter freak out on Twitter over Donald Trump's tweet. Why would Kim Jong-un insult me by calling me old when I would never call him short and fat? Oh well, I tried so hard to be his friend, and maybe someday it'll happen. I got this from I think it was at iNabber, and he's somebody I follow on Twitter, and he wrote, "God, Donald Trump's Keemstar," and I thought that was funny, and I retweeted it. But then came the string of tweets. At first, I thought some of them were. I mean, I expected to hear it. It was it's an easy joke, you know, like, he's gonna fucking blow the world. And then I started seeing the more serious ones, way more than I have time to go through or even care to talk about. But everybody, calm the fuck down. Are you fucking kidding me? If this guy Kim Jong-il is willing to start World War III over a fat joke, all right, we should go in now. Just end it.
Deeper problems.
So literally, the last spike of the hashtag World War III was in November of 2017. So this was the media trying to freak you out almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. You know, this is normal. And for a media that got the Russia thing wrong, I mean, I've even heard to say that Trump is trying to use this to distract from impeachment. Impeachment's going to get him reelected. I mean, it's not going that bad for him. A ray of light of God. Look at fucking.
Yeah, Jeff's being blessed.
Yeah, Jesus, what the fuck is that? So literally, I got a good track record. People, you don't realize when I'm playing this shit right here, like people were legitimately freaking out. They were telling me that I was crazy. That this is serious. That Donald Trump can't be allowed to talk smack to the almighty leader. And admittingly, this is a little different. He did clip somebody this time. But again, my argument would have been like, what are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do?
We're going to send Jeff with his beams of light to bless Iran.
High as a kite. When I look at an old video, he actually tried to send us through.
I'll take my beams of light somewhere else. I'm good.
When I look at this old video, I'm starting to think vaping might not have been good. Yeah, no, the vaping made me fat. You're right. I could get to sleep. As soon as I got off cigarettes and started smoking, that's when the weight came on. I'm probably only like 220 pounds here. Yeah, it was as soon as I started vaping, the weight started coming on.
If only there was somebody who could help with that issue.
Shut up.
It's the arcade.
What am I going to do about the asthma, though? That's got to be straightened out before anything. I can't run.
Oh, God. Can I hijack for a second now that you're talking about weight loss?
Yeah.
A really famous video on the platform got deleted recently, and I can't imagine why.
Which
apparently he's fat.
What?
Did somebody sent me a clip of a -1 million on Leafy's site?
No. It's actually from a person we've covered on the show previously. Just look at this. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Do you want Twitter DMs or regular DMs?
Yeah, send it to me. Twitter.
All right, yeah. This is something
don't expose your DMs.
Put your camera on. You look ridiculous.
Put my camera. I got the. You can't even fucking see me. I'm waiting for the sun to pass by.
All right, yeah.
You buy a curtain.
You want the beams of light? You get the beams of light.
Let's just buy a curtain, you dipshit.
I do have a curtain.
Yeah, you know, you have Venetian blind. They suck. They don't work.
My window literally faces the fucking sun.
Dude, get a fucking curtain like this. This is a curtain. This is a curtain.
Jeff's in heaven.
This is a curtain. That is a Venetian blind. Get one.
All right,
I'll get a curtain when you follow my fucking meal plan. How about that?
So, guys, we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play the game. It's exactly at what second do you believe this broke YouTube's policy?
Oh, okay. Memology.
Video.
This video is taken down. Oh, that's too funny. This is my memology. Here we go.
This is a fucking video to some fat fuck on YouTube named Boogie2988. Now, I'm tired of this fat fuck popping up in all my fucking search engines when I'm looking for a fucking workout video. I don't give a fuck about the aftermath from any of you Boogie fans that feel sorry for this greasy fuck. You fat fucking disgusting ass smelling blob cheese drinking Crisco bathing lard gargling calorie thieving Cabbage Patch face having Dr. Robotnik looking, Wingstop eating, McDonald's gorging, T-Rex arm having, non-vegetable eating, cook on a George Foreman, wide low, hungry hippo, planet, pretending to have a fucking thyroid problem, whale, / Free Willy, parked bus, Yokozuna.
Nah, that's funny.
Yeah, at what point did that become targeted harassment?
Yeah.
You know, I can only wonder why this got taken down.
That's fucking great.
We got to fight for that video. This policy's ridiculous.
That was fucking great.
Oh.
Wow. Amazing.
All right, now back to the draft.
There's no draft. There's no war. There's no major escalation coming. A minor league one to save face. Somebody might get killed, yeah. But I don't know. I think clipping the wings of, you know, subversive Iranians trying to overthrow Iraq slowly but surely. Putting a damper on that now would be much better than 10 years or 20 years from now, where my kid could go in. So fuck that shit. Nothing's going to make me sicker if my kid has to invade Iraq. Oh. Be like, Jesus fucking Christ. How many generations have to go into this fucking shithole? You know, and I'm telling you, I'm not a big believer in drawdown equals peace. If that were the case, World War I would have never happened. Because from what I understand, the UK didn't even have 19th century weapons at that point. 20th century weapons at that point. They were way behind. Their weapons were, you know, 30 years behind. Like 1890 shit. How did that go? Oh, I know. Germany invaded Belgium. That's how that went. I'm sorry. It doesn't work. It's peace through strength, not pay them off and hope for peace. I don't like that policy. Pay them off, hope for peace.
Yeah, just give them money. Shut them up.
I'd say that clip was a major escalation. That's right. All right.
I sent you that machinima clip.
The machinima clip? I want to see the... what do we got? Oh, God. Hey, do you know... things are different now on YouTube. This is from the machinima days.
R.I.P. machinima.
This is, Rib machinima. I wish I could get this. Nah, it doesn't look right.
That company went to shit so fast.
Yeah. I know.
But they used to make great content like this.
Finally joining us, Hollywood, appropriately, since the question coming in here from Nikki the Hack is, can we do the rest of the show in blackface? Which is an interesting and racist proposition.
Yes, very.
I think Wood can.
Yeah, definitely. Wood?
Is this black enough for you, Nikki? You racist shit. Unbelievable, Wood. Can you believe the shit we do on this show? It's crazy. You want him to chew on a watermelon next, Nikki?
Yeah.
Is your dad a grand dragon in the KKK?
See? Right in front of you.
Is
that what you want?
Yeah, is that what you want? Do you think Wood has a part-time job on a plantation? Picking that cotton for the white man.
Racist?
Probably do, you fuck. Oh, you want to see the tall black guy play basketball, Nikki?
Yeah.
The fat guy's trying not to crack the fuck up.
Racist shit. I hate you. You want to put all the
Why does the one on the
Africans
right
back
kind of
on
look like
their
Lester
continent?
Holt?
That was the birthplace of Nazi. You came from black people. Where do you think white people
Dude, even Woods try not to crack up. See, this is the America that I left. This is like normal. You know?
Then you come back and
That's a funny bit, by the way. That's like a really
I can't
funny...
wait for the clip. They're going to get the 2-second soundbite of Tommy watching a blackface video going, this is normal.
This is normal. This is America. Well, it's the way we were in the Army. I mean, this is the kind of joke we would have played. You know, but as long as the black guy was in on it, that would have been the rule. You know? I think it's pretty funny. Like, somebody asks you to do something racist, you do it, and then you lecture him for being racist. That's kind of creative. And then you have the black guy kind of laughing and giggling in the background trying to look hard. You know? To me, that's funny. I don't know. I don't think it's racist. I don't think it's racist at all. If anything, it attacks racism, how stupid it is.
So you're saying racism never existed?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Fight racism in blackface.
Racism has never existed.
You know how you fight racism? The best racist fighter in my lifetime was Howard Stern. He would get this guy named Daniel Carver, otherwise known as the KKK guy, right, who was a former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, and he would just let him talk. He really never did anything other than have Daniel Carver talk, and he just sounded so stupid, idiotic. Like, and Trump would Stern would torture him too. I remember the one time. This is a horrible thing to say, but it was just funny because it makes him sound stupid. He says, "What do you think about Tiger Woods winning all those golf tournaments?" And Daniel Carver says, "Well, a horse wins the Kentucky Derby every year." I'm like, oh my god. That was his response. And he would say a bunch of stupid shit like that, and then he's just like you take the piss out of all that hardcore racist stuff. If anything, I started noticing that because like in the early 90s, racial tensions were quite high throughout the 80s, and they just seemed to dissipate the later we got in the 90s. Kind of like it'll dip with OJ, but after that went away, things were cool. Things were cool when I was in the Army. When I got back, all of a sudden, every black and white people hate each other again, at least according to the media. It's never as bad as they say it is. The media always hyping this shit up. Yeah. But, I mean, to me, this little bit down here that they're doing, obviously everybody's in agreement. Nobody's getting shit on. They're not doing anything racist here. They're making fun of, people that go in blackface. I like that world better. I think this is better, and people could kind of have a conversation about racism. Now you can't have a conversation about it because what Nick just said, they might get that one little fucking part and try to take my job.
Tommy's a racist.
Yeah, there you go. That's a difference.
I mean, have you seen what they did to Mundane Matt?
What did they do to him? Oh, no, I don't know.
This guy's got entire albums worth of songs of things he's never said. It sounds like it's right out of his mouth.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like, how do they do that?
I don't know.
Did they deep fake the guy's voice?
Yeah, you can do a deep. Of course, you know that. What are you telling me for?
No, do you think they did, or you think it's just like they have like 40,000 hours of footage to go through? Like everything sounds different. They're never reusing the same soundbite. They have to deep fake it.
I call that dedication.
I just uploaded all of his videos.
I just thought maybe you should read the. Let's see. I don't think you're untalented aside to. I'm looking through the thing. Maybe most people are writing stupid shit. I'm reading the shit from 2 years ago. Here's something from Red Fox Comps. Tommy, go back on baited. Oh, shut the fuck up. No, nobody really insulted me back then.
You did.
Yeah, I did 2 years later. North Korea is a crazy dumb. All right, most people are on my side on this one. But I remember people on Twitter telling me, like, you'll see, just like they're doing now, you'll see, people are gonna die. And then it comes down to the point where you're rooting for people to die because you don't want to be wrong. You know, I thought the news media was like, oh, you know, news media does what it usually does with Trump. We got him now. We got him this time.
Y'all are really hoping for Benghazi
yeah, I know.
too, aren't you?
Well, there was no Benghazi 2 because a Republican was in charge. They didn't allow those fucking people to be killed.
Hoping.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. I tell you something. I would not want to be stationed in Iraq if Barack Obama was president. If I was in an embassy. I heard somebody call this.
Well, you wouldn't be stationed there. You'd be dead.
I heard somebody call this Trump's Benghazi. What do you mean? They got all non-essential personnel out. You know? If anything, it's a fucking victory. They didn't penetrate. They didn't allow those people to kill our people. Right now, we're up on them. All right, I want to get
Call
this.
of Duty campaign. They raid a U.S. embassy. People die.
I'll show you a real example of TDS, hardcore TDS. I got this from Tim Pool. Some Russians called Maxine Waters, the James Brown-looking fucking senator or congressman we have, and they pranked her saying that she was Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
So you want to check this out?
Absolutely.
All right. Stars save the earth. This is really funny, from what I understand.
California Congresswoman makes.
By the way, what makes this better is it's 2 Russian guys.
Waters. For those who don't know, we pranked her once before. In that prank, we asked her to pay attention to the problems of the non-existent island Limpopo.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, pal. Speaking way too much Russian for me. All right, let's get the Maxine Waters.
More pranks.
More pranks.
Congresswoman?
Yeah.
I have Greta and her father, Savante, on the line.
Thank you very much.
Congresswoman, this is Swan, Greta's father. And here's a Greta.
Yes.
Hello,
on the line.
Congresswoman Waters. Hello, I'm very happy to talk to you.
Well, thank you both for calling me, and I'm very anxious to hear from you.
Yes, I know that yours called you Aunt Maxine.
What?
That's so sweet, I think. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Russian, Swedish accent. She don't know the fucking difference.
Yes.
That's so nice. We have wonderful climate strike to support the ecology of Chungachanga Island.
No, that should have been it. Oh my God. Save Chunga. Hashtag save Chungachanga.
Thousands of people came to meet me. We are standing together against the pollution and to save our planet. I'm very glad that my cause finds so much support. I was in California last week. It was so great.
Well, thank you, and I'm so glad you came to my state. And, of course, I know all about you. You have made quite a big thunder on
Apparently
this
she doesn't
issue.
know enough.
I am really,
Yeah, she really made a big bang on Deutsche Bahn. That was a good one.
really very proud of you and the work that you're doing.
We're now in North Carolina. So we are in a climate strike here in a meeting.
Okay, so you're in the meeting now? The meeting has started?
Yes, already.
Yes. We're there now. We're here now at the meeting, and if you will allow me, I will put you on the speakerphone.
And we will let you say to people who is around here.
I think that it will be great honors for them to hear you. So you can say some words of support to all.
Is Greta a robot on purpose? I think she might be.
People who came here to support the problems of the wonderful island and the ecology of the world.
Which island are they targeting?
Oh, Chungachanga.
Chungachanga?
Yes.
Okay. That island is particularly threatened? Okay.
She said that island this is a United States Congresswoman, and she doesn't know there's no island named Chimichanga.
There's a
Maybe she thought the Congo, the Chongo, the Oingo Boingo. What the fuck? What's the matter with this broad?
Unga bunga.
You know, she looks like James Brown. I'd rather have James Brown in there. I feel good.
Get involved. So let's get started, okay?
Yes, we are ready. You can start.
Hello, everybody. This is Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and I am to be on this telephone call with Greta Thunberg.
She can't even say her name.
I am just so proud of her and her father, Savante Thunberg, and the work that they are doing. As you know, Greta is an environmental activist, and she took part in the United Nations Climate Summit in New York recently.
Oh, my God.
And she has been traveling, and she has been the greatest advocate for what is happening with our climate and the environment. And I'm very pleased that she's
not helping Australia.
In North Carolina, where you're focusing on protecting the very important island of Tula Challenge. And so, I could just go on and tell you that I believe that she certainly should win the Nobel Peace Prize for what she is doing. But what's most important right now is that you all there who are working so hard on this issue to make sure that the island is protected, that you give her all
Boy,
of
politicians don't talk. They'll just talk. You give them the opportunity to talk, they're going to talk.
She's giving you all of the support
that
she can give to you, and this is so important.
All right. I would. Oh, they played a sound effect of people cheering.
Cheering.
In Greta, we trust.
Lexus 2024.
Greta, are you still there?
Thank you for that words. It was a great honor for us to hear your voice. Could you help to solve the environmental problems of the island of Chungachanga?
Well, now that I'm focused on it, I'm going to do everything that I can. Thanks to you.
I can't wait. Dad's going to love this.
I will work with everybody to do everything that we can to save the island.
I want to tell you something confidential about the meeting of Greta and Trump in the UN climate meeting.
Get ready.
Yes, and I said to my dad that I want to share it with you. So it was really terrible. I'm terrified of what Trump's doing, and I even can't sleep or eat when I see him on TV. And it was really terrible meeting in the UN building in September with him, and I had nightmares afterwards. It's terrible. Oh, I don't know how to say about it. I saw him in the hallway. He was with security. I shouted at him, sign the Paris Climate Agreement again. He came over. He leaned towards me and said softly, "Listen to me carefully, little girl. You will never achieve your goal." Like this congressional fool tried to accuse me.
He said, "You will never achieve your goal." Did you ask him if he would rethink signing the Paris Agreement? Was that your question to him?
Yes, that was. He added that. And you know what? I will tell you the truth. Anyway, I really wanted to push the Ukraine president to put my competitor on trial, and he will go to trial with you, with your bunch of ecology and Democrats. I already have a separate cage for all
right, you know what? I'm not going to steal any more of this content right here. Make go to Vovan222 Frank.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, I would have lost it.
I am subbing the shit out of this guy. I highly recommend you do too. I love the graphics. I love the fact that they had the bull, the call. She is our, by the way, in fairness to us, she is literally like our dumbest politician, hands down. She's always been an idiot. About a year and a half ago, she told people that to really confront Trump supporters when they're eating, when they're on their other computer, when they're just confront them, which is kind of a stupid proposition. Yeah, but she absolutely deserved to be pranked. Like, he said you will never achieve your goal. I mean, like, at what point is there a red flag stupid? You know, you hate Trump so much that you can't, there's just so much tunnel vision that they can't get the fucking point. It's just really, it's hysterical is what it is.
That was even better than Pelosi mumbling for 2 minutes straight, where you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, that impeachment went so well, they won't turn in the articles. The most important thing they all dressed in black.
It's concrete evidence, though, Tommy. But they
all dressed. Of course, it's concrete evidence. He gave the fucking transcript. We know exactly what happened there. You know, like the most important thing. They all dressed in black. We have to do this right away, and we're not gonna turn over the impeachment. Oh, whatever, fucking shit. I don't care. I think they're hoping. What I think the plan is with that is to withhold them and hope the Democrats win the Senate and then push them through. But there'll be a constitutional argument whether they have to do it within.
Hold off until he gets reelected.
Yeah, hold off until he gets reelected. That's what I think they're doing. I don't. There's nothing. Although Mitch McConnell said he wouldn't do it, there's nothing they can. There's nothing stopping them from just taking the articles as they are and doing the trial.
Exactly. What are you waiting for? Go.
Because there's nothing in the Constitution that they have to hand over a piece of paper. They could just. It's just a part of the Senate rules, which can be changed. So I think they're just gonna. I think the idea was probably to do this all along, is impeach him, and then knowing damn well it was never going to just completely screw up the process. The worst part about it is if we ever get a real maniac in there, they've cheapened the process of impeachment, which is a pretty important thing. If the guy's in there,
you would think,
killing people or doing something like actually criminal, not making a phone call or withholding aid, which he has every right to do.
Basically saying fuck off.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for Bill Barr to come back with his investigation because I think the criminality inside the Ukraine is probably just off the meat hook. And all the screaming and crying and impeachment and everything is really just, at the end of the day, probably protecting Biden. But if I had to guess, Obama. Obama was probably a crooked president, and we're probably going to find out real soon. But he has every opportunity to be a crooked president because the media wouldn't hold him accountable for shit. And if you don't believe me, every time he bombed somebody or droned some motherfucker, it wasn't World War III like it is now.
Got Osama.
Yeah. Nobody said that was an escalation. They celebrated. And he did too. He's like, fuck, 2 terms, baby.
Yeah. Make it rain.
Hey, let me tell you something. I was no fan of Obama, but I was awful proud of him when he fucking clipped that bastard.
Yes.
But I'm an American. I'm not a Democrat. There's a difference. Because apparently, if you're in politics, you can't be both. I'm not saying that every Democrat is rank and file jerk-off Democrat from Pennsylvania. But it doesn't seem like anybody in Washington can be both an American and a Democrat.
No.
So, whatever. Obama did 9/11. Let's see. Unconfirmed reports that Iran put an $80 million bounty on Trump. Might as well make it $20 billion.
You know what they said?
What?
We have 80 million Iranians here. We would like you to put down $1 US each for the head of Donald Trump, and whoever brings it to us will get the $80 million.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Did they really say that, or is that a goof?
Okay, Gary.
Is that a goof? Well, I heard they hacked the libraries. I mean, it just basically shows me they have nothing. They have nothing. Why would your first response be attack a library?
They're like, oh God, if they can attack the library, they can hack our elections. They could destroy our fucking way of life.
Yeah, they dropped a bomb in the green zone. I wonder how many fucking mortars have hit the green zone since 2011, and they didn't even make the newspaper.
Probably tons.
The library didn't hack. It's the DNS redirect. Oh, yeah. Is that what their sophisticated hacker system did? Get the fuck out of here. All right. I think I'm done. Pay attention to community tab if we're gonna. Here's the schedule.
Call.
It's calls. I don't
Yes.
know. Commentator Edward, you're on the air.
Oh, hi.
Hi. I actually have a question for you.
Yeah. What's
not from me, but from the entire content creator YouTube community.
Yeah.
Where do you get all the time in the world to fucking DM or tweet every single one of us? I know, it's a serious question. Like everybody I know knows you. Hey, where's Diorio? Is he listening to this? Every single person I know, I'm talking from I think Tro to everybody knows you. How is that? Why is that? Where do you get the time?
Oh, I guess, while I do have school, I'm also able to...
How old are you?
I have free time.
How old are you?
What?
How old are you?
17.
You're 17?
Currently?
Well, you think you'll be 18 soon? Currently, I'm 17.
Yeah.
Later, you'll be 18. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you go to school? What are you going to go to college for?
Oh, I'm not sure if I would go to college.
No.
I'm not sure what I would study.
Yeah.
But I'm very into
Well, you better pick something, otherwise you're gonna get drafted.
Yeah. Are you in all right, let me get. I'm not being a dick back here. I'm just saying, are you in the the special classes?
I was once.
You weren't? Then you got.
I'm autistic.
Are you?
High functioning.
High functioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in the Blowbox division.
So, do you think Blowbox is a retard?
I like him, but I also have my own problems with him.
You have a problem. What's your problem with Blowbox?
Is it because he says the N-word?
His argument with you about autism,
okay. Oh, you didn't like that he pulled the autism card on me.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
He got all defensive.
Yeah, well, he went on offense, and then he had to walk it back. I don't want to talk about that though. All right, what was your question, buddy? What was your question? Hello?
Forgot.
You forget?
Let's try that again. What's your question, sir?
Wake up, Nick.
What?
Oh, you want to ask Nick something?
You, not me.
We're asking you. Yeah, we're asking you, bud.
Hello?
What's your question?
God damn!
Have you stopped talking to me? Can he hear me or something?
Is he asleep?
Well, you can't hear Nick?
Are you asleep?
Are you asleep? R2DQ. President George Bush did all lacked the courage to take out a terrorist who was responsible for the death of 600 and 700 Americans, servicemen, Iraqi men and women.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
Via EFP-IEDs. Now, he did do that. Here's a little thing on that, but without getting into how many Americans he killed, I think it's fucking irrelevant how many Americans he killed. I know that the conservatives are using that. He was an Iraqi general.
America.
He was an Iranian general on Iraqi territory. That's it. That's enough to get you clipped right there and then. That's enough.
I haven't lived in America for a long time.
Where do you live?
Right now, Finland. I grew up in Britain.
Oh, you grew up in Britain? You have an American accent. What are you doing in Finland?
My dad got a job.
Yeah. And are you going to English school in Finland?
No.
You speak Finnish?
School. I don't.
I'm
learning it.
Yeah.
Is that like a hard language barrier for you?
Get high as a kite in here.
Yeah.
Waiting.
He's in waiting. Speak Finnish with this guy, Kite.
Croaxis's dreams.
So what's your plan? What was your question?
Who?
No, your brother. You.
Who? What?
You. What was your question? Why'd you call?
Why did I call?
No.
Oh.
Oh my fucking god!
Hey, speak.
Sorry, I'm confused.
Oh, okay. What was your question? Why did you call in? Why did you call in?
Thank you. I don't know. I just wanted to give my takes on things.
What things?
Give my opinions. What do you think about like the Greta Thunberg?
Wait a minute. You said, "What do I think?" What do you think? You're gonna give me your take.
Oh fuck!
I think.
God damn it.
I think like her parents are somewhat exploiting her.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do think she is trying to help. I do think she does care. But at the same time, I do think her parents are somewhat exploiting her.
Yeah. The chat is demanding that I blow you up.
Blow me up? How? Like
this. Let me show you. Bye.
Oh fuck! I wanted to know where he lives in here.
What do you want?
62 IQ.
All right. Thanks for calling. Welcome to the Fuckheads. Call in again, commentator Edward. All right. Retard number 2. Dated Ryan. What do you want?
I'm sitting it like this. How did I dodge the draft card? I ran.
Oh, shit, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here.
Tactical nuke incoming! Tommy.
Yes, what do you got?
You like the machinima clip?
The machine, yeah, the blackface clip. Yeah, I loved it. You said it's.
I got
Whoa! I got a huge donation in the chat. I still.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. KX, I still very much dislike you greatly. Though, still, I hope you choke on a chicken wing and suffer greatly. Well, at least I won't get drafted. Somebody.
You didn't read my super chat. I gave a great one at the beginning of the show.
A lot of money.
Well, I'm gonna read them all later. I might as well. Thank you so much, man. You guys rock. You guys completely rock.
Okay, yeah. Tommy, I got another clip in your Twitter DMs.
Another one? Let's see. From you?
More races. Let's go. More races.
Let's see. All right. Is there music in here? Because you got me claimed.
No. My beautiful wife.
All right. Let me watch this. Hold on. Let me see this. After this, we're gonna.
My beautiful wife. Oh my. Orlando, do you want to read the next question?
Seriously, you guys are kind of gay. I just feel like I need to say that.
Yeah.
The biggest moment of your life is being born.
That took him 30 seconds.
Being born is like the biggest moment. All right, question 2 from Kenny Davis. Can black people get sunburnt? Really, motherfucker?
That's. I don't know. I think that shit's fun. As long as it's going both ways, as long as the white guys are getting goofed on too, I think that would be fair. This is comedy the way I remember it.
Try to do this nowadays.
Yeah, I know. This is the guy. I mean, you could have pulled that. We might have done a stunt like that in the Army. Like, I don't remember the racial tension being this bad. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's guys you couldn't show. There was always that one militant black guy with a fucking chip on his shoulder, but nobody hung out with that guy. He wasn't fun. In my case, his name was Earl. How many black guys you ever met named Earl?
Didn't one guy get a show? My name is Earl.
Yeah, it wasn't him.
He was very, very.
Nah, he actually lives by you.
Oh.
He lives by you. He's one of the craziest people I ever met in my life.
Jason Lee.
Or is Earl Sweat? Is it? Was it Earl Sweatshirt?
I'll tell you stories about Earl some other time. I actually don't want him calling me because he threatened to shoot like my entire platoon over a girl.
What?
So.
That's probably.
And he lives near you, Dioria.
Oh, that's good.
I don't want to talk about Earl. I'm sorry I even said his first name.
I actually know one black guy, and his name is Deke Bashir.
Is he half
Those are
Finnish?
definitely words.
Yeah.
Shot to the anus. Haven't heard from him in a while. And I'm going to read things. Donations. Shot to the anus, Sean here.
Yeah.
What's
up? I'm real glad you remember me, Tommy. Thank you for that.
I do.
But
I do.
beside the point, I remember reading something that most nations that freak out about their Iranian attack,
Yeah.
I think I remember reading, I don't know if it was by this economist, but I think Canada and the US are going to be just fine. You know, nothing's going to change for us, just like you said. But I remember recalling that I think it's going to affect other nations' economies very greatly, what just happened here.
Like what? How?
I think it's like the transportation of oil, and it's gonna delay some nations getting.
How are they going to delay it? I mean,
I don't know. I just read this and I was just thinking, like, what do you think?
You're probably reading bullshit. I saw something that Iran could cut off access to the Persian Gulf. Are you fucking kidding me with our Navy? Are you joking?
That'll go well.
They're not as well put together as Iraq's army when we invaded in 2003. They've been allowed to grow since the Iraq War, and then ISIS. Well, they actually were sort of on our side with the ISIS thing, but no, they're in a bad. They're like in the worst part of the Middle East because there's no oil. They have like here's the thing, they got to do something, but if they do something too bad, it's like bang, 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 all your oil refineries down. And Trump somehow, for the first time in history, made sanctions worse. We're literally squeezing the fuck out of them. So I don't. Where's this big, military offensive? They're not capable. They don't have it. They're just a terrorist attack at the most to save face, and then they're going to fade to oblivion. It reminds me a lot of the attack on Libya in 1986. And everybody said back then, "Oh, we're fucked." Gaddafi literally went away until they picked him off in 2011 Arab Spring. From 1986 to 2011, he shut the fuck up. A lot of the time, like, everybody's thinking the worst case scenario, but you forget, when everybody screams World War III, you forget every time they scream World War III and it doesn't come to fruition, this particular moment in time will be as bad as memorable as Trump's tweet in 2017. I'm telling you, I just don't see it. I don't. Their capabilities are just not. They could do a cheap shot terrorist attack at the most, and probably have a better shot at pulling it off at the most.
The only way I could ever
they don't have the Air Force, and they don't have the fucking troops with the experience. Remember Iraq had 500,000 people in their army. Half of them were running to surrender. In 1991, they told us, I was about 14, that they were going to clean our motherfucking clocks. That war ended in 42 fucking days. Everything you hear from the media is probably horse shit. Probably horse shit.
I've always lived by that kind of.
Yeah. What narrative have they gotten right?
Yeah.
What was their big narrative the last 3 years? The Mueller report.
Okay. Yeah.
The Mueller report. Yeah. How did that go?
Mueller report.
Okay. And then what's the next big one? What was the next big one? Quid pro quo in Ukraine. Well, turns out there wasn't any, and he didn't even get charged with it. He didn't even get an impeachment article that has a crime with a statue attached to it.
Well, what's the problem with quid pro quo? Because it's like
it's called foreign policy in most circles. It's called foreign policy. That's what quid pro quo is.
Yeah,
it's not illegal.
It seems like because we're the U.S. We're the strongest nation in the world. I think we're bound to have to do scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Everybody does it. It's just not okay when Donald Trump does it. That's my whole point. Yeah. Donald Trump bombs something, it's the end of the world. Barack Obama drones somebody, it's not. That's my whole point. Bill Clinton hit Iraq, Afghanistan, and goddamn Bosnia when he was president. Not once did people talk about World War III. It just depends on who's in office. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling. If you disagree, look. If you disagree with me about this particular attack, fine. Okay, fine. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. Possibly you do. I don't know what you're basing it on, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think anything's gonna come of it for the States or Canada, at least.
Nothing.
Absolutely
nothing. They're a weak country. A very weak country. And they're going to talk, and they're going to talk about the great Satan and beat their chests and say they're going to kick their ass like they've been doing since 1979 when they took over the embassy then. 40 fucking 1 years ago. No, I'm sorry. I'm literally. I heard they have a big cyber attack prowess. Well, let's say. I mean, obviously, when you do something like this, it's a huge risk, and I'm not going to say like it's not a risk. It's a calculated risk, but how big a risk is it? I don't think it's that much. I don't think Trump just woke up one day and said, "Let's kill this fucking guy." I imagine it was months in the making. Or it was something like, next time that motherfucker steps foot in Iraq, clip him. Or something like that. And a lot of thought went into that order. People think they understand the military. They're so distant from our servicemen. They don't understand how things work. That's why they're stupid enough to bring down the goddamn selective service goddamn website thinking they're going to get drafted. Because they're so distant from our warrior culture, from our warriors, from the people that actually serve. They don't understand how the world works. But they could build a mean Minecraft castle and survive for years. I'll talk to you later.
They could build a fucking mansion in
Oh wait, I found it. I found what it was trying to say. We import 60% of our oil, and the most recent numbers are around 10%, and that would drop to near zero as soon as major disruptions of foreign markets occur. Because of the rise of prices. Well,
first of all, any attack in the Middle East is going to rise prices. The markets don't like instability. They always react to it. They're always going to drop or rise or whatever, do whatever. But if nothing happens, it'll smooth out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Iran can't stop the flow of oil because they don't have any.
Yeah.
They don't have any.
Oh my God.
They have no cards. Now, I'm not daring them. I'm not wishing there be an attack or anything like that. But I'm just saying, I don't think they have it. I don't think they have the capabilities.
Yeah, I don't want them to put like missile silos in fucking Mexico or Cuba or wherever.
Well, they're not going to. We wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. No silos.
Your favorite news host is getting trolled by people of Ice Poseidon's community. I just sent you a short clip on Twitter.
Scares?
Oh boy.
What?
Even better.
Uh-oh. Let me hear this shit. Oh, hold on. This fucking guy. This guy, let's just say he's a stereotype. Oh, boy.
Pivios writes.
Here we go.
Pivios writes in and says, Pivios says Trump should stay 10 toes down. We don't want another war. That's from our viewer, Pivios.
So Ice Poseidon's fan base.
Dentro says, about time we run.
Stuff.
I didn't get it. I would have been fooled too.
Because they said that Trump needs to stay 10 toes down.
Oh, I don't. What's that? I don't know. What's said? What's that?
Hampton Brandon?
Oh,
Brandon's big tagline was 10 toes down, 10 toes down, 10 toes
Yeah,
down.
I fully forgot about that.
Somebody would just suddenly combust. Dude, I wish that guy would explode. His guts would go.
He's an Italian from Long Island. He's one of yours.
Italian, look at the nose.
No, he's Italian from Long Island.
He's dead.
His last name's Grasso, I think. Right?
Oh.
Yeah. He's from Long Island too.
You guys are talking about.
Hey, oh God, somebody died. Better fire up a live stream.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about this guy. Oh, you're talking about this guy.
Timmy's sitting here going, he says that I loved Etika. I watched him every day after middle school. Yeah. Oh God, my heart goes out to you, Timmy. 13-year-old Brian Wilson from Detroit, Michigan says, I don't fucking care about this shit, man.
Can you read that shit?
I think that's a little offensive.
All right, let me read this shit.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah, that guy's a low life. What he did with Etika was just the grossest. 1 month. What's it? Scrubby with $50. Thanks so much. Dick as an Oreo Pride. Hi, Kite. We have a conception, but you have an option of civil service. So basically, your duty in the army or enjoy being called a pussy the rest of your life. Yes, I should have probably put Finland on the list of countries that still have a gun culture over there, although it's eroding away. But Finland probably should be. That's the only problem is there's just not enough Finns to go around. There are not too many of them.
We need more We need more kites.
Thank you very much, Real Scrubby. Vibe. This is a good line. He might get the donation of the day. Have you seen WASD and how fast I can build walls? I stack mats, drop in tilted towers every time. Get wrecked. Thanks so much. And Vibe also wrote, Jeff's got a light on him because he's been chosen for WW3.
Yeah.
Facts. People, you have people wishing the attacks kill Trump. Well, of course. Look where they're coming from. I'm not surprised at all. Let's check out Barry's
tweet that every American soldier's feet that touches Afghan soil should come home in a body bag.
Well, they don't usually. We usually put more of them in a fucking body bag than they get us. Mike the Bike.
How are you gonna live in America and say that shit?
Yeah. Oh, people that live in America because they're I don't know, they're fucking traitors. You know, traitors. Mike the Bike. It's like, you know, I'm never shocked about, you know, what left-wingers will say about our country. They hate it. I think a lot of liberals pretend to like it because no one wants to hear, you know, no American's going to vote for somebody who hates the country. So I think a lot of them are just like, you know, in the closet about hating the country. But the media is totally right when WW3 was trending on 2 years ago. Right. Mike the Bike. Thanks. He's on the same page as me. Probably was a fan back then. Big E. Obama was a drone king. Good point. Here's another thing. We've been at war for the last 19 years. Do you give a fuck? Do you know how many people have been getting killed in Afghanistan recently? A lot more than recent years. Did you give a fuck? No. Why? Because you can't stick the blame to Trump on that one? Nick Diora, Bobek's drafted in the 10th Battalion of the HFA division. That's the high functioning autism for normies. Thank you, Nick. Drones for 2020. Happy Crusades. Fuck their Aladdin carpet. We got carpet bombing. That's very nice of you. We do. It's an option. Carpet bombing is the worst. Kudos to Iraq Special Forces Golden Division. What? I don't get that. But something tells me it's going on. Modig, I'm Diamond in Overwatch. Diva Main. Fuck the world. Mike the Bike. Thank God I got my own local library 500. I own the local library 500. That's for.
Oh God,
yeah.
Augie clipped you out of context, and it's so funny.
He did purposely.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Oh really? Let me see. Oh, I'll go check that out right now. Yeah, he's trying to prove it. I know what he's doing. Fucking Augie, you jerk off. How dare you? How did you already... Oh, yeah, there's one trick. There is a website you can use to get people's... did he send it to me? Somebody's...
I just DM'd too.
Yeah, I can't find it. Let me see this shit. Here's what I'm going to do. You're going to show up in men's clothes, and if you don't, I'm going to choke you with the women's clothes you have. Do you understand that? And if you think you can kick my ass? All right, you're going to have to kick 5 other guys' asses too. And we're going to beat you until you submit. Here's what I'm going to do. Cookie bitch. Thanks. I'm going to run into the brush fire to avoid the draft. That's a good idea, Mikey Mitch. Thanks so much. You guys have been super generous today, and I do appreciate it. Makes me want to do one tomorrow.
Yo, there's some real bad fires in Australia. Hell yeah, bro. Just drop my mixtape.
R2D2, President George W. Bush and Obama's lacked the courage to take out terrorists who are responsible for the deaths of 600 and 700 American service men and women in via Iraq's EFP IEDs. I don't know if it was courage. See, I don't know. I don't want to say that. You know, sometimes you got to do this stuff. Maybe it wasn't to our advantage. Maybe now it is. So I don't want to dump on Obama or Bush for that because I don't know the situation. I do know when I was there, everybody was they were a lot more afraid of the Iranian shit than anything else because that's the stuff that, you know, the car bombs and shit like that. I still and then KX with a big $100 donation. I do appreciate it so much. KS, who doesn't like me very much, apparently.
No.
And then as for scheduling, here's the schedule for the rest of the year so far. It's going to be
the rest of the week. You mean rest of the week?
No, the year. Well, no, we're back. My vacation's over. My vacation's over.
Tommy's not going to miss a single day. This is a ironclad fucking.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm going to try to get back on the other thing too. Soon. All right. Here's the deal. It's going to be a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That's what we're going for. Emergency streams inside. Who was that? Who just somebody just donated? I thought I recognized that name.
Benny.
Was that the Icelandic kid? I wonder if that was him. Remember him? The Icelandic rapper?
I do. Yes.
That was funny.
That was really good.
Rap battle. The two Icelandic.
That's a lot of money.
Actually, I sent Colombo funded. Did you know Nicholas Dorio is fat? Yes, I did. Iceland rap battle.
Quite large.
No, my video doesn't. My video doesn't come up. That was funny. I think it was Dave and you back in Icelandic rap battle. My video doesn't even come up in a search. That's crazy. Even if I put Tommy C.
I'm sure typing in Tommy C will certainly.
Here it is. I
narrow
found
down.
it. Hold on. Let's watch this. This is the Icelandic rap battle. Hold on.
Thumbnail.
All right. These two dorky kids from Iceland called in. Same time.
Don't tell anybody anything.
Oh God. This is great.
I can't laugh like a normal. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying Baited. I'm glad you're owning the channel.
Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear that.
Fokkaðu þér. Heyrðu, þú ert bara ekki góður í ensku. Ég miklu betur en þú.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna start me. Oh, shit! You hear what he said?
All right, that was a lot funnier 2 years ago. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Bye. I'm out of here. Thank you very much. You guys have been so generous. I'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. Stay tuned for the news channel. Peace.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree. Chi-town to King's home, slapping fives, black stones. 6 mile to danger zones, bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated the evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe, here's a headline.